here we are in my workshop, which is otherwise known as my kitchen. Now that we're here, you probably know what that means, don't you? It means it's DIY time. Now, for today's DIY session, we're going to be waterproofing the Pinpointer. Now, I did something through inexperience, through, I guess bad practice. A while ago, I actually rubbed through my Pinpointer. You can't see it now, but there was actually a hole in here, a little hole in here. Entirely my fault, which, just through use, as you're scraping through and so forth, so you do get wear and tear. Now, I thought that Garrett actually sells Pinpointer cases because I assumed that I wasn't the only person who wore through their Pinpointer. In fact, I'm sorry. Here it is. Here, yeah, that's where it was. Not there. It was actually here. I wore that down. Now, I rang up Garrett Australia and I spoke to the guy and I said to him, look, I've worn through my Pinpointer. Do you guys sell just Pinpointer cases, And the news that I got was that, he's never heard of that happening, that I'm the only one that he's heard that happen to. Now, either the guy was retarded, so Garrett Australia, you either employ retarded individuals, or he was just talking crap. Just an unethical employee, he's talking shit. Because I really, really, really doubt that I'm the only individual in the history of Garrett who has worn through their Pinpointer. Now, so Garrett Australia was about as useful as a flea up the arse in order to solving my problem. So therefore, I had to take it upon myself to do a little bit of research and find out what to do. Now, what I did, my situation was worse than probably most of you because I actually did grind through the plastic. So what I did, I got some super glue and a little bit of super glue, and I super glued the hole closed because super glue is fairly tough. So I actually super glued that hole closed. Now, but that's fair enough. But that is obviously not going to stop further damage down to the Pinpointer. Once again, upon further research, I found that you can actually waterproof the Pinpointer by using this rubber sealant, where you dip the Pinpointer into a rubber sealant, which then leaves a rubber coating. So I've done that, and you can probably see that right there. Okay, I did it a while ago, and I've been using it ever since, and I've had no problems with that job. Here it is in Australia. It's Rust-Oleum. That's what it's called. I picked it up at Bunnings. Now, you're obviously watching this, well, not obviously, but some of you will be watching this from overseas, and you may not have the brand Rust-Oleum available in your country. That's okay, that doesn't matter, because there are, any other rubber sealant will do the job, okay? So at the moment, let's stick with Rust-Oleum Leak Seal, which I bought at Bunnings for from memory, about $14. So that came out of my $14 fines, my $14 pool, monetary fines pool. I actually keep the money that I find metal detecting, I keep it separate. So that came out of that reserve, so it really was not an issue at all. Okay, so here it is. Now, what I'm going to do is show you pretty much what to do. Okay, so here it is. There's your Pinpointer. Just the way that I have it, it's obviously quite dirty because it's been used. So the first thing that you need to do, you need to clean it. You need to make sure that the surface is nice and clean. So being in my workshop, and the workshop has a kitchen sink, I'm going to now wash it, particularly this area, and in fact I'm going to wash it using soap and water because I want to give it a really nice wash. So I'm going to be putting a coat over the coat. I'm not going to take this off, there's no point, but I am going to clean it up, give it a really nice clean here, so that when I put on the next sealant, it'll go over this and it'll be nicely and firmly sealed. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back with you very, very soon. There it is, nice and clean. I used just a brush as well, just to get rid of the gritty bits, just little stuff off it. That's the original hole, which unfortunately I had gone through the plastic. So I filled that in, and it's looking pretty good. It's still holding up, even though it's been about 5 months since I sealed it originally. So I'm very, very happy with this. Very, very happy. In fact, I really don't need to reseal this again because it's still holding out. Although it is wearing a little bit thin here, but I'm doing so because I'm going to Poland. I'm going overseas for a couple of months, and I won't be taking this with me, and there's no point in me buying another tub of this later on overseas, because you only used a very small amount. So whether it's $14, whether it's $20, it really doesn't matter, because this is probably going to last you about 20 years, literally. Maybe even more, even if you're resealing or protecting your Pinpointer once every 6 months. You really do not use a lot of this stuff at all. What happens now is I need to wait until this is fully dry, and then once this is fully dry, then we can start resealing it. So look, really, I mean, it pretty much tells you what to do on the back in the instructions here. But I'm just, I might as well just go through, spend 5 minutes with you just to show you before you actually buy this, just how it works and what you can expect from it. It really is a very quick procedure. It's a very easy procedure, and it's a very cost-effective procedure. So don't bother ringing up Garrett Australia, because, well, they're not going to help you. And they don't have Pinpointer cases, so you're just going to have to do this yourself. And I would also advise you, by the way, while this is drying, I would also advise you, when you're buying yourself a Pinpointer, whatever Pinpointer it may be, just buy this as well, okay? Just buy it as well, and then when you get the Pinpointer, just seal it. Just put the coating over it. It's really going to extend the life of your Pinpointer. I mean, this cost me about $250, so it's certainly not cheap, and this cost me $14, and per coating, it maybe amounts to 25 cents. So 25-cent solution to prolong the life of your 250 or 200 or 100, depending what Pinpointer you have, is a very, very, very cheap option, particularly where it's not going to affect the performance. It is rubberized, so it's rubber, so it's not going to do anything. It's transparent, so it's you can't really tell much. It's just, look, it's just great. It really, really is great, and it's a waterproofer at the end of the day. So we'll wait for it to dry, and then we'll put the sealant on it. It's nice and dry now, so I've just popped the lid of the container. Okay, it's got a very, very, very strong smell, so it really should not be done indoors. But look, that's it. Just dip it in. You're meant to give it a little bit of a stir, okay, because it is settling. A lot of it is settling on the bottom, but that's all it is. Okay, and it's this coating is just sticking onto the Pinpointer. Okay, so I'm just giving it a bit of a stir, just getting the stuff from the bottom. Okay, that's all you need to do. The most important part is obviously up here, just around there. See, that's where it needs to be the thickest. Okay. Oh, boys, this really should not be done indoors. Okay, because it is very strong smell. So what I'm going to do, I've effectively coated it. Okay, I'm going to take this outside, and I'm going to hang the pinpointer off the I'm going to hang the pinpointer using this, so it actually hangs down like that. So most of that rubber sealant will settle on the bottom. And that is it, guys. That is it. That is the whole procedure. So just to summarize, I've cleaned it, I've dried it, and I've dipped it. Okay? So clean, dry, and dip, and then you're home. It's simple, and now it's just a matter of hanging it up. But you want to dry it for quite a while. You know, it will need a few hours for it to get solid dry. So yeah, you want to do it on a day when you've done your detecting and you don't want to detect anymore. Okay. My suggestion still stands. If you buy a new pinpointer, or if you're planning to buy a pinpointer, buy this. As soon as you get the pinpointer, just do this procedure. As you can see, almost no difference. So how easy is that going to be? You won't need to clean it, because it'll be cleaned. It'll already be dry. So all you do is pop the lid, dip it, and then just let it harden by drying. Okay, and you'll be set for months and months and months, maybe even over a year, maybe even longer, depending how often you detect. So there we go, another DIY session with 69 digs.